everyone and welcome back to Integration Ninjas. Today we are tackling how to automate deployments for your Node.js applications using AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Elastic Beanstalk is a service by AWS that simplifies deploying and scaling web applications in the cloud. It takes care of the infrastructure setup so you can focus on your application code. In this video, we will combine the power of Elastic Beanstalk with GitHub Actions to create a seamless automated deployment pipeline for your Node.js projects. This will save your time and effort by automating the deployment process. By end of this video, you will be able to set up a GitHub Actions workflow for automated deployments and deploy your Node.js applications to AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Ready to streamline your deployments? Grab your favorite drink and let's dive in. So we'll see like how our workflow will look like. So as we know, like Elastic Beanstalk will have to accept the code as we need to upload the code as a zip there. Otherwise we need to upload a code to S3 and we need to provide that URL. It's like that. So we are going to do the same thing here. We will build our project and we'll zip the code and we'll deploy it to Elastic Beanstalk. This is a simple action steps that we will perform. That's it. Now we are going to see how it will look like on the Elastic Beanstalk. We will create a Elastic Beanstalk. So we can see here it's an easy to use service for deploying and scaling web applications and service developed with these many technologies. So this is like very good to scale as well. Like if you are starting a small application, then you have to grow, that we can do easily. So let's create it application. We are going to start as a web server environment because we need a API and all those web application. Okay, so we are going to name our application as Node.js app and the environment name is -env. That is fine, and we'll check the domain name. Check availability. Yes, this is available, and this will be the API URL that we will access here from the or application endpoints. All right, and the platform type is managed platform, and we'll select Node.js, and we are going to use the Node 20 here as a runtime, and it is recommended one. This is the only one available here, and right now here I can upload my code from the local file as a zip or something, or I can upload it to S3. That is also a possibility, but I will do a sample application deployment for a tutorial perspective. Then I will upload my code from this GitHub Actions CI/CD setup that we will do. So let's do this, and I will set it as single instance, which is free tier eligible. If we want to add another configuration, we can do, but for this tutorial this is single instance only. Next. Okay, now we have to configure the service access. So here we need to provide the required access for Elastic Beanstalk as a service role or the EC2 instance profiles, and will allow Elastic Beanstalk to create and manage the resources for our web application. Okay, so I will create a use new service role. It will create, and we can see the permissions will be these many permissions it will need it. So after this, I don't need this to log into EC2 instance, but I need to give EC2 instance profile. Choose an IAM instance profile with managed policies that allow your EC2 instance perform required operations that we need. For that, we'll go to the IAM and we'll create a new role, and we'll select AWS service and use case as EC2, and we'll click on the next. And now here we'll search Elastic Beanstalk here. So here we need these many permissions: multi-container Docker and worker tier and web tier. I have just noted it down. Let me see: Elastic Beanstalk role, worker tier, web tier. Okay, so I don't need this as well. I will click next, and EC2 Beanstalk, I will name it. You can name anything. Let's create this role. This is created, and we will be able to see right here EC2 Beanstalk, and we'll click on the next. These are the optional steps that we can perform or not. If we have database enabled, we can do this, otherwise we don't need. If we have database, you can enable it with the providing the username and other like password and all those availability zones. That we are not going to do. Click on next. Here, like if you want to have some instance traffic and scaling options, if you want to add some volume, or you want to add some cloud watch and other things, or if you want to add the auto scaling groups, these things you can add it here, but this is optional field, so we'll skip this. And here the health and other things, these are optional, we'll leave this. Click on next. And we'll click on submit. So it will take 3 to 4 minutes to complete all the required infrastructure ready for us. We can see the logs also here. The storage bucket, they have some created as storage Elastic Beanstalk as Amazon S3 storage bucket for environment data, and is starting. We can see all this logs information here. These are the health information, logs, monitoring, all this information is present here. Now we can see the security group is creating, so it will create all those required infrastructure that is needed, that we will do like manually. EC2 will set up and will run the required commands and everything. It will do everything. So for the sake of time, since this is progressing, what we can do, we can write a workflow file. That's it. Okay, so let's go to the repository here, and right now we are here. So what we can do here, we can create a new workflow file, which will be the main.yml. We can name it, or here we can name this as CI/CD. Is it yeah, main.yml, and which will be here. We need to define like where it should be triggered, the workflow where it should be triggered on the push events. Okay, main.yml. Okay, this is completely fine, but yeah, this is not correct. Indentation we need to maintain here. It should be triggered on the branch, this branch, which is elastic. Okay, let's do one thing. Don't do it here, we'll do right here in the, here we can create a new file directly in the editor here, and here we will create a, we are in this branch, and we'll create a .github slash workflows slash main.yml. You can name it anything, cicd.yml. You can name cicd.yml. This is fine. And here like we should be triggering a workflow on this particular branch, so let's do this. And right now here we'll define some jobs here. So our jobs will be we can say build and deploy, which will be running on runner, which we are going to use GitHub hosted runner, which is Ubuntu latest. We can use our self-hosted runner that we can add from the settings and the runner section here, and we can create a new self-hosted runner, and based on the platform we can add a self-hosted runner as, and we can use the machine as our system as a runner, we can use that also, but for this tutorial I'm going to use this. And right now here we are going to add some steps here, which is first we are going to use checkout source code, where we are going to use actions slash checkout at the rate version 4. This is the latest one we are going to use. And after that we are going to do, we are going to set up the Node.js. For that we will use one action, which is actions slash setup hyphen node version 4. Let me just check this out. Okay, action setup at node 4 and node version and all those things we will need. And yeah, we need this. We are going to use node 20 here. All right, and next step is suppose install dependencies. Here what we will do, we'll just run npm install, nothing else, that's it. And after this what we are going to do, we are going to generate the deployment package. We will zip the complete code here. So for this we are going to run a command which will be zip -r, that will be node.js -app hyphen we can say a build, node.js app build dot zip from this directory. That's it. Now what we are going to do, we are going to use action which is not provided directly by the AWS. This is provided by any third-party library. We can say like this is open source project, they have contributed to the GitHub Actions and it is available on the marketplace. We are going to use this information, we are going to use this action because it's very easy, make it very easy to deploy it to the Elastic Beanstalk. It needs just these parameters like access key, secret key, that we generally do by configuring the AWS, and we need to provide the application name that we have created, environment name that we have created, and the version label and the region and the deployment package. That's it. So we are going to use this. It will make our life very easy. We don't need to upload and do anything. It's just a one-time setup. Let's do this. Okay, there is some mistake probably. Alignment issues are there. We'll just align this out. That's it. And this is the version 21. AWS access key and secret key, I will prefer you can generate this. We can go to the IAM and we can go to the users and we can create a, for the role you can create a new security credentials and you can generate a new access key and ID. If you have already, you can use that as well. I have already done here. We can see it right here in the secrets and the variables actions. I have added this AWS access key and AWS secret access key. I'm going to use that. I will prefer you don't add this directly into this section because it will be a security issue or like anything. We'll prefer to add it in secrets because you should not share this credentials, like everyone will be able to access your environment with your details. And the application name we are going to have is Node.js app that we have given. And the environment name was just -env after that. That's it. And the version name we are going to have is what we can have. We can have the GitHub commit ID as a github.sha. That's it. And what is the issue here? And the region is US East 1 since we are in the North Virginia region. And the deployment package is Node.js app build.zip. That's it. That's it. Now let's see if our environment is ready. Environment successfully launched. We can see all this infrastructure has been created, added the instance and the security groups, and everything has been added. Now what we will do, we can see or the app is running on this domain here. So this is the sample application we have deployed. I will just override this. I have shown this just for tutorial purpose. Now what we are going to do, we are going to deploy this application, our current branch. Okay, let's commit these changes and just test deployment. We can say deployment to AWS Elastic Beanstalk, and we'll commit the changes and we'll see if the action is getting triggered or not. Yes, it is triggered, and we can see the job is in progress here. Install dependencies, and this deployment failed, AWS access key not specified. Okay, we'll see if we have made any mistake here. Okay, our variables are not aligned with that action here, so that's my mistake here. So we need to make sure that whatever the variables we have stored, we need to add those. So it should work now. Let's see. Test deployment to AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Let's do this and we'll go to the action and we'll see if it is working now. Deployment failed, error get address info, there's ENO not found, not sure what the issue is. Existing bucket name null. Okay, that's pretty strange actually. We should not get that issue. Let's see the workflow file. Beanstalk and this. The bucket is also added here, so we'll see what's the issue is about. Get address info, ENO not found. Let's search this error out here. Not this. Generally we don't need to provide the bucket name here actually. Version label, that's it, and in the workflow file, that's it. Okay, the north region was incorrect actually. That's the problem here. So we'll commit these changes and deploy to Beanstalk. Silly mistake I'm making. So these are the deployment mistakes like we generally do during the development. So let's focus on this and we'll see if this time this works or not. It's still not picking. Okay, so this time the deployment package is completed. Not yet, but the zip is completed. Now the deployment is in progress here. We can see this information here as well. The environment update is starting. The deploying new version to instance here. So these the logs we can see here. The events, whatever the events is being triggering, we can attach the logs as well if we configure there. Still updating. Health is green, health status is info. Let's wait for the deployment. Okay, this time the deployment is successful. We can see the deployment finished. We have not received the proper yeah, these are the logs here. Deploy to EB. Yeah, these are the action provided logs. We provided these many information to the action. This was the GitHub commit ID, and because of the north AWS region we have made some mistake. That was US East 1, but this is US East 1 here. We have added everything, every information, and the deployment is successful now. Now what's the next step? We'll see if everything is working or not, since we have one API here in the app here. Let's see, the I need to get all those user information. I can get or not here. I can get all this information here. So now the application, the Node.js application is deployed successfully. So that's what like our purpose is like now completed, made our work very easy. So this is the like one-time activity we need to perform. If you commit every changes, it will be deployed continuously. You can customize the CI/CD as well as per your own requirement, but this is like very simple steps that we need to perform. For this, I know like there was some mistakes in this workflow during the deployment, since I was doing the like second or third time only. But this is the main thing you need to be sure, like you don't make these mistakes while the development. Yeah, these are the workflows and the CICD.yaml. So this was the CICD YAML. We need to install the dependencies and generate the deployment package with the zip, and we need to provide the zip package to the deployment package here in this action. That's it. We need to have our AWS access key and the secret key here, application name, environment name. Version, you can have any version like v1, v2, v3, anything, and we need to provide the region as well. So this is all right. So that brings us to the end of this video on deploying a Node.js application to AWS Elastic Beanstalk using GitHub Actions. Remember, this is just a foundation. You can customize this workflow uh, to fit your specific needs, such as like running tests before deployment or deploying to different environments. Think about the possibilities. Imagine deploying your latest bug fix or exciting new feature with just a push to your GitHub repository. Automated deployments are a powerful tool to have in your development arsenal. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content on DevOps, cloud technologies, and exciting coding adventures. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.